Hi everyone. Now today I've come to West Sussex and I've come to St Luke's, Milland and RAKE graveyard and church, St Luke's church. And I'm going to have a walk around the church outside and have a look inside if I can get in, and have a little walk around the graveyard here as well. Now behind the church is a chapel. I think it's called Tuxlith Chapel, which is also known as Old Milland Church. Now that's centuries, it's quite a few centuries old, the chapel out the back. But the new church, which is just in front of us, I think that was built in 1874 or 1876. But I was just looking at these graves here. They're quite fascinating because you can see moss growing over the graves. It's a bit like nature taking over the graves of the dead. Some bird boxes up there. And some more there. Now this is the church, the newer church, Victorian. There's a tower, and it looks like you should have two clocks, and now on there, obviously not there anymore. All of the doors. And a window. That's the tall tower. A view of the graveyard. A gate over there, which I believe is a public footpath. And just up there there's a face, and there's another face on the other side. Don't know if you can see that. Quite a nice little touch, I thought. Sort of things you don't notice unless you've got an eye for it. Notice all these little things. The door's open. That's the inside of this church, St Luke's. I won't go in because just now two people went in there, so I don't want to disturb them if they're doing any prayers or stuff. And this is a silver jubilee bench, 1952 silver jubilee, 1977. And just here it says Tuxlith Chapel, which is just behind this church. But yeah, it's quite a nice church, this one. It's quite a nice church. St Luke's Church, quite nice. Like I said, I'm in West Sussex. Now this is the chapel, and I believe it's owned by the Friends of the Friendless Churches, or the Friends of the Friendless Church charity. So that's Tuxlith Chapel, or Old Milland Church, and that's St Luke's Church, the new church, built in 1876, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we'll see if we can get in the little chapel here. Oh yes. It's like an L shape. That's obviously an old picture of a chapel years ago. And there's another picture. So we've got Tuxlith Chapel in the 13th century. And then Tuxlith Chapel in the 17th century. And then Tuxlith Chapel, or Tuxlith Parish Church, in the 1870s. I'm obviously not going to read all that out. You can always pause the video. extinguisher. So that was the inside of the chapel. Very, very old. Several centuries old, in fact. These are obviously the older graves. A lot of them are hard to read. And there's all mounds here as well, so I imagine there's a lot of graves here which are unmarked. I'll read a few if I can see any that I can read. There's one here. William A. Burrow died August 14th, 1900, aged 77. And Mary Ann. There's all graves there as well. This was the window I was peering out just now. And then we're back to St Luke's, the newer church. So just here you've got graves. I don't think there's any headstones there, but you don't know what's underneath. So, like I've said, there's a lot of graves around with no headstones. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I never was much into churches. But I've sort of gotten into them now, the churches, especially the insides of churches. I find them quite interesting, quite fascinating, and whenever I now go to a graveyard, I now try and get into the church. It's always nice to have a little look around in the church. I used to find them quite creepy inside, but now I quite like them. Rachel Marguerite Wickham passed away on February the 3rd, 1955. Henry Norton Kircher, 1930 to 2004. You can feel the ground is a bit soggy underfoot, which is all the moss, so I'm not going to go walking all in between these headstones. James Ian Rayleigh died in 1990. Ernest Frank Cat died in 93. Just have a little peer over this gate. So there you go, guys. That nearly wraps this video up. That's the St Luke's Church, the newer church, and then in the distance you've got the old Milland Church, Tuxlith Chapel. We don't often get a church and a chapel quite close to each other, well, at least I don't think you do. So, well, at least I haven't seen any anyway. This is my first time I've seen a chapel and a church together. It's quite fascinating, and I'm glad I was able to go into the chapel and have a quick look around. So yeah, that wraps this video up, guys, and remember to check out my other videos. I've got some good ones in there on my channel, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and always remember to subscribe. I've got some good videos coming up. So from Sussex, West Sussex, Milland and RAKE Church, I shall say take care, and I will see you next time in my next video. So I will see you next time. Take care.